Hey, yo, mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome to episode 1 of the Ahmad Pod. This is like a rebrand. This is a freaking rebrand. I used to. This was the TPG podcast like a week ago, and I decided to rebrand. You know, new name, new everything, pretty much. I just want to do this. I want to do my podcast. You know, a little more consistently. You feel me? So this is just what it is. It is what it is. I didn't really have nothing planned for this episode. I mean, really? Okay, here's how I want to do it. Really, I'm gonna try not to have anything planned for each episode, and here's why. I'd rather for my thoughts to be more in the moment. Like, so it's more like what I'm doing is more an expression of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, so it's a lot more like in tune with what I'm thinking. Like, so every episode is something different, like what I'm thinking, because I think a lot every day. Like, it's real random. My thoughts are very scattered all over the place. That's basically how I want to express it in this podcast. So I actually had like a few things written down. Let's just get right into it. All right, so first of all, this the whole Bill, hold on, wait a minute. This nigga Bill Cosby, bro, he getting all types of stuff thrown on him in prison right now, bro. That man got hit with a hot dog bun, a chicken patty, bro. Y'all prisoners a mess, bro. Y'all over here starting food fights just cause this man is in here. I ain't heard nothing about no chicken patties getting thrown, no spaghetti being dropped, none of that before Bill Cosby's got up in there. Y'all weird. Y'all on all types of weird stuff. But anyway, bro, here's just like my thoughts on like the whole situation. You know, all those women came forward saying that they were basically date raped by him or whatever. Bro, I don't really believe that 60 women didn't consent to him having. It's like something wrong with that. Like in my head, like 60 women didn't say got me too'd. Like 60 women were me tooing him. Like I don't know. It's just like weird. It's like it's hard for me to think that it's 60 women that got assaulted. You know, allegedly were assaulted by him, and they just now, all of them just now going forth and saying something about it. Like that just doesn't sit well with me. But I mean, I don't believe all of them are like on BS. I believe it's just a few. I do believe he should be in jail because I do think he raped a few of them, just not all of them. I don't think he date raped 60 women. Well, I think a lot of them were just trying to get up on their check or whatever. It's just it's even like crazy to think about. Like 60 women came forward and 60 or so. I mean, I think it's about 60, something like that. I don't really have all the facts. You know, I don't write nothing down. I'm an ignorant nigger. But yeah, I don't. It's just hard for me to believe that 60 women he assaulted 60 women in the same. The gist of it is like in the same way. Like I feel like a reputation would have I can't even think of the word. Would have proceeded? Is that I don't want to say proceeded because I know what proceeded means. Proceeded, like I feel like he would have had a reputation from the first few women. That I mean, I don't think all of them would have kept it a secret either. Like you know how girls be flexing on Instagram, like they sleep with a rapper, they posting pictures like the next day. So I'm like, I mean, you couldn't post a picture back then, or could you? You could have like put it in a newspaper or something. I don't know if they had like TMZ back then. Bro, I just dropped a pin, a PIN. I dropped a pin. I don't know where it is. I do not want to step on. Oh, here it is. I got it. Did not want to step on that. It'd be a whole different podcast. I'd be doing the whole podcast with a damn pin in my foot. But yeah, that's just how I feel about that. I don't think, and you know, that's like a thin line, like consent, because I know it's like a bunch of people that's like I done seen like a few little clips of different like celebrities talking about it and about how like they didn't have like drunk sex before and stuff like that. Like, I mean, how can you consent while like drunk or even like high, I guess. How can you consent truthfully? Like fully be aware of what's going on. Like that's like a weird, I guess, little nuances to it. I don't really. For me, I'm not even going. I don't even know how to say it. My bad for like being kind of like I can't find words to say stuff today. And that'll get better over time. This is like the first episode I've done in like a long time, and I haven't really done it in like a podcast like setting. It's kind of just been like real sporadic, and I'd like do like 10-minute little clips and just post them and say that's like my podcast or whatever. But this podcast is gonna be a little more, I guess, formatted, traditionally formatted. I guess that'd be the way to describe it. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I just don't. Yeah, what I said before. I don't like. I feel like it's like hard to it's like that consensual is like really like there's a thin line. I just anyway, moving on. Bill Cosby is like an icon in the he's an iconic black father figure. And I guess it's like a really bad look on subconsciously it's like a bad look on black fathers because he was like a good black father figure for like a whole lot of years. And then you see what he was doing, what it ended up him getting, what he was into back then. Even when we looked at him as like an icon, like an iconic black father, you see what he was really on. It's like a bad look for black fathers. And in a time where I feel like there aren't enough good black fathers. I don't think it might even be a lot of good black fathers, but there's not a whole lot of great black fathers going around today. Like that kind of brings me into my next point. I'm gonna wait on that one. I'm gonna wait till I introduce it first, and then I'm gonna come back to that. All right, so basically, Blac Chyna. Excuse me. Blac Chyna had like an interview or whatever, and she was like talking about how Drake put her on or whatever, like how Drake started putting her in his videos, and that's kind of how like she blew up. She started getting more work opportunities and stuff like that. I just want to say like shout out to like all the strippers that first of all, shout out to all the strippers period, like cuz y'all have like influenced like hip hop culture and black culture in general is like y'all have influenced it a whole lot. But I just want to give like a special shout out to those that used stripping as a platform to go into other professions or like go into creating they use stripping as a way to create other opportunities. You know, like Blac Chyna, like even the ones that's in the mainstream eye, like Blac Chyna, Amber Rose. Oh, the best one I think would probably be Cardi, I guess. Cardi B. But yeah, cause I mean, and look, y'all gotta stop like shaming strippers and calling them all hoes, cause all of them ain't hoes, to be honest. I don't like how strippers get shamed. A lot of that stuff is like, even being like some of them being strippers, like that's circumstantial. Like I feel like a whole lot of them wouldn't. I don't think it's a whole lot of strippers that really enjoy doing what they do. You know, you get the ones that do and they're really good at it, and they end up like, I don't know, they'll stay with it, or they keep that image on top of them. Like they big up that image of them being a stripper because they own it and it's like a part of them. But then you get the ones that only stripped because they couldn't, let's say they were single mothers or what else? They got kicked out of their homes, like they ended up homeless or whatever. Let's say they were even like in the system, like being adopted, like we're going from group home to group home, and that was like their only option. Some of them were in, let's say even some of them didn't get like the proper education and ended up dropping out of school And, you know, it was the only way for them to get, like, a type of income or even, like, live, like, their next life. Like, because I feel like life is, like, separated in segments. You're like a toddler, then you're like a young adult, then you go move on to adult, and then you move on to mature adult, then you move on to midlife crisis adult, and then you just old. Like, that's how, like, I segment that. I might actually make that like a topic. That actually sounded interesting. Hey, I just did that live. I planned on it. I planned live. I don't usually plan stuff, but I just planned live. You feel me? I'm not gonna be doing that. Y'all ain't important enough for me to plan. But anyway, what else do I want to talk about? What else was I gonna say about them anyway? But yeah, it's like circumstantial. Like, you get the ones that like I was saying, you get the ones that actually love it and like enjoy stripping, and then you get the ones that only wanted to use that. They either wanted the money or they thought of stripping as like a way to get stripping was like they way to the next, get to the top, like get to the next level, to get to the next phase of their life, or like even their career, to even build a career afterwards. And, you know, I have like a lot of respect for those strippers. I have respect for strippers in general because that's not like a job that everyone could do. I don't feel like everyone could be a stripper. I don't feel like everyone could be comfortable with guys or even like girls looking at them for like hours a night, or even like giving lap dances and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how true that is. I ain't never been to the strip club. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it works. But I mean, from the stories I've heard, I'm guessing that's kind of what goes on. I don't think a whole lot of people are built for that. And I gotta have like some sort of respect for that, because that means not only are you confident in your body, you're confident that somebody isn't gonna. You're confident, not even confident. You're strong enough and have enough courage to be able to go out afterwards and accept all the criticism that you get from people, knowing if outside people know, like people that don't go to the strip club know, it doesn't matter to you. You're just providing for yourself or just doing what you love. I got a lot of respect for that. But I got like, it's like I really like the ones that end up using that as like a pedestal, like going to the next level. Like what Cardi B did. I mean, Cardi did that at every level. Like she got into like she used it as like a way to get into music. That was like her introduction into music was after stripping. Then she got on Love and Hip Hop. Then she really started popping up. I think she blew up on social media. I think she was doing music all throughout the whole thing, and she ended up just blowing up. She ended up like blowing up and getting signed by Atlantic because her brand ended up growing or whatever. And like I got a lot of respect for that. Like Cardi is like a really smart, low key, like people be calling these like strippers and people that like talk like her, like the ratchet girls, they be thinking they dumb, but these like people be real smart. Like they're smarter than the average member of the population, I must say. Because I know a lot of people that don't really talk proper. I know a whole lot of people that talk proper, and a lot of them ain't as successful or as business savvy and smart as the ones that don't at all. Like it's kind of crazy how like even I was thinking about that earlier because it's a video. Excuse me. It's like a video. It was a video of like Kodak was like joking around or whatever. And I was looking in the comments. It was on Instagram. I was looking in the comments and they was all joking on how like they was saying like how he was dumb and how he was stupid, how he shouldn't have money because he was stupid, because he wasn't talking. He was talking like a certain way. And I was like, well, that's really not. They were saying he was illiterate because of the way he was talking. But first of all, I mean, if you want to call him stupid, you're stupid for calling him illiterate, because illiterate means he doesn't know how to read. I mean, and he wasn't reading in the video, so that's stupid anyway. But I'm saying, like, that's not even a reflection. The way people talk is not a reflection of their intelligence level, to me. I mean, because it's a whole lot of people that don't talk the book. It's like think of the way that we talk, like proper, like how we're taught to talk proper. That's like something that you learn in school. That's like book material. And like everybody doesn't have access to like book material. Everybody doesn't need access to book material. If you're a sweet talker, or like even if you know how to speak in general, if you know how to get your point across and you know how to supersede if you know how to supersede all those expectations. Of course, if there's somebody like, let's say you go in for a job interview and they don't like the way you talk, okay, that's just his that's his perspective. That's like what he thinks of you. But everybody's not gonna be like that. Everybody in the business world or even in life in general is not gonna have such, it's not gonna make that real important, like the way that you talk and stuff like that. And I don't like the people that like, they like shit on other people because you might talk and know more words than me. Or like you know how to speak more eloquently than me. I don't think that's like a reflection of intelligence either. Some people are just like naturally introverted, one. Some people are around other people that talk the same for like hours of the day, and you don't have to be versatile with the things that you say. To be comfortable with the people that you live with, I don't have to be versed in 3 different languages and be able to say 30 different synonyms and antonyms to my dad to be able to talk to him. No, we probably say the same thing every day when we see each other. Like, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, stuff like that. I don't have to be able to like use a diction. I don't have to be a human dictionary to talk to people all the time. And I don't like that point of view. I don't like that whole stigma. Like people that talk ratchet, or people that talk slow, or people that talk weird, are like weird or dumb, stupid or dumb. Unless they have like autism or they like have like Down syndrome or something. I mean, that's really not a proper gauge of someone's intelligence. And even when I think about that, like the people that have autism and Down syndrome, they are smart too. Like they really smart. They just, I don't want to say different, but like they're like, I guess would be socially, they're socially awkward. Like they're social phenomenons. Like they're so different that people put them in a box, and people think like they're just stupid. They're not factors at all. A lot of those people that have like autism and Down syndrome, they're like really smart. Some of them are smart as you and me, and like the things that's like the wiring that went wrong in their brain doesn't allow them to express themselves the way that we can. Like, if that makes sense. And it's like, even that's like a stigma, because if you actually like put your pride aside and actually stop being ignorant and calling them stupid and dumb and not wanting to be around them because you're embarrassed by it, if you actually like spend time with people that have autism and Down syndrome, you'll realize that. But a lot of people like playing cool, and that's a whole different story. You know what? I'm gonna touch on it. This is my podcast. I do what the hell I want to do. It's a whole lot of people you see walking around. They so fake. They clout chase. Hold on. First of all, I don't know who coined that phrase. I kind of like that phrase, and I kind of don't like it. Like, I understand the gist. Like, clout chasing is a bigger way of saying like you're doing things. You're participating in antics to get attention, I guess, is the way you describe clout chasing. And I feel like a lot of people have been, I mean, that's always been the case. Like, I don't like the phrase clout chasing, because people start tagging it to people that really aren't clout chasing. It's like, if I call out somebody that's popular, and I really don't, like, if I call them out on something that I don't like about them, and then I get attention from it, then people say that I'm clout chasing because I just said something wrong about him and it got me attention. Like, that's not the case with everybody. Some people do have honest opinions of people. Some people, like, basically that's like for some people that's just who they are. Like, it's not always clout chasing. And I don't like the word. I like the way that it's shortened, like the definition. Like, not really shorten the definition, but I guess like it's made it easier for millennials to understand. Like, that word, like clout chasing, like it's easier for millennials to understand clout chasing than if you were to call somebody a poser, or even sometimes when you call people fake, they don't even know what you mean by that. To them, they're just doing them. But like I was saying, it's a whole lot of people that's like quote unquote clout chasing, being fake, and they do it for like, I don't even know what they do. A lot of them have a goal in mind. Like, some people do the antics, some people act fake, like to get ahead, like let's say on Instagram. Like, they do it to get more followers, or like, let's say in like the business realm, they do it for everyone to have the majority like them, or to have their superiors like them, and then usually in like a work environment, they'll be fake in front of their superiors, and then they show their real side to the employees that work there. And the employees know they're a certain way, and then when the superiors come around, like their bosses and stuff, they act a whole different way. Act like they're like a perfect candidate, like they're a perfect employee. I don't really agree with all that either. I don't really like all that. I feel like it is important for there to be a time. There is a time and a place for everything, but you shouldn't like. If you're like a morally unconscious person away from people that are of importance to you in ways of advancement of your own career or something like that, or something of that nature, like your career or career. I feel like you shouldn't go. I feel like you shouldn't try to be a better person in front of the right people. You should just if you're gonna be fake around everybody. Like, just be like, if you're gonna be fake and you're gonna act like you actually care about people, do it in front of everybody. Don't just pick and choose who to do it in front of. Let it be so we can't tell that you being fake. I'd rather you do that than have it show in like different. To have it show one day because somebody was around, and then it goes away another day. Because I feel like that's disrespect in its own. Like, let's say I got comfortable with you being the nice person. Like, I got comfortable with you being the nice person, or I went on to think that you were like this really great person, and then you switch up because, oh, boss number one isn't here. Like, I just don't like that. I feel like it should be something like, it should be a positive work environment. It should be a positive environment for everyone you're around. Like if you're working in a group, it should be some type of promotion of positivity. And being fake and acting fake like that, and like changing up your personality in front of the right people, that doesn't promote positivity, because everybody's gonna be the one. Or the ones that's actually like paying attention, and they actually look at stuff like that, they're gonna call that out right away, and then that's gonna cause tension between you and that person. And then let's say the person that noticed you were being fake, they gonna tell somebody else, and then there's gonna be tension between you and that person. And it's like it's just like, see what I'm saying? I just don't like I don't like all the fake stuff that's going on. Like, I don't like all the pretending to be a friend of me or someone else to be on my good side and stuff like that. I don't like all that. I don't know. If you doing it and I can't tell you doing it, I mean, fine, shame on me. I didn't realize you were doing it. But I would rather you just keep up that image than like switch up because, you know, something changed or something like that. I don't even really know how to explain it. Like, I would rather you keep up that energy of being fake to me all the time than let me figure out that you being fake. Because if I don't figure it out, it really isn't a factor. To be honest, I really don't care. You can be fake to me. As long as I don't know that you being fake to me, it's cool. I'm not all sentimental about all that bull crap they be talking about, like how like what's another example of that? An example of people being real. Like when people like when a person donates to like a charity or something, and let's say they benefited from donating to that charity, and people are outraged because they benefited from it, and it supposedly didn't really come from their heart. I mean, are you more upset about me benefiting from that act than you are about the people that it actually then you're happy about the people that it actually helped? Like, I feel like, it's another point. I feel like negativity is more promoted than positivity in all realms, like even on the news. Like the bad story is going to take precedence over the good story anyway. And I feel like that's American culture. Americans promote negativity in a lot of different ways, whether that be like in fighting words, news, sports, like the bad stories, the stories where people are torn down. The stories where people are torn down, or like where someone's done something wrong, like that pretty much saturates like it saturates every environment, like in the United States or in America or whatever you want to call it. Like the bad story always, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all get it. But yeah, that's like American culture. Like, even if you look, like, in the good stories, like, if you go into, like, a comment, like, the comment section on, like, social media. Well, social media is different anyway. Hold on, let me touch on the social media negativity. Social media is a toxic world anyway. Because, I mean, think about it like this. It's like it only takes one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch. And it's like, if one person says one thing, if one person says something bad to, like, in the comment section, well, then you've let the other people who would never say that. Let's say, let me start over. Let's say I'm in, like, the comment section of, like, Instagram or something like that, right? Now, let's say I, as a person, I as like a bad person, or I said something negative about something that's in like a video or something, like something like totally out of the blue, not really out of the blue, but something that was like uncalled for negativity. Like, okay, that just made it okay because I said it and I set the example, and people gave it attention because it was negative. Then I let other people who otherwise wouldn't have said anything negative. It like permits them to say something negative just because I said it. Like they see that it's okay for them to do it, and then they want to do it. And like, I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. Like it's like it spreads quickly. Negativity on social media spreads it's like, not only is it's like toxic. Social media is very toxic in negativity. They would rather, because in social media, reactions are more important than truth in social media. You know, people do stuff for reactions on social media. They do it for like clout. Like that's where clout chasing comes back. Like I feel like a lot of this it's just a bad culture. It's like a bad culture anyway. Like if you spend too much time on social media, the people that spend too much time on social media end up being the ones that are the most broken inside. They have the most insecurities. They have like this negative perception of what life is. They're the ones that really don't. People say that like especially like, let me give an example. They were saying like how Eminem was out of touch because he's not really on social media, and he doesn't really work with any of like the newer artists. So like he's out of touch. He's not really on social media active like most of his younger rappers. Like most of the younger rappers in the rap game. How do I say it? He may be out of touch with what's going on in rap, but I feel like when you're on social media too much, you become out of touch with what's really reality, and not just like what's really reality and what's really like for example, the way people like I can post a picture in like Los Angeles and like in front of all the little sites, like in front of the Hollywood sign or like the Beverly Hills sign, or like in front of the trees and bad bitches and sunlight and all that. Like I could post a picture of all that, and you would think, you know, life is great. But then there's also areas in Los Angeles that are like slummy and drug infested, and like it's just not bad places. I mean, it's just not good places to live anyway. And like social media only shows you the good. social media sometimes will only show you half of the story of what's really like what's the word? Only show you half of the story of a place or like of a person or like of a thing. Like they only show you half of the story that that person or that entity wants to show. It doesn't show the like the actual truth. And you know, people believe like everything they see on social media. You feel me? They thought except when it's something really like logical and something that's not except when it's like really logical and simple. Like when they were showing the videos of when like Triple X died and like he was in his car like slouched over, and then people after seeing the video and like after seeing him in his car shot dead were saying that he was still alive and that it was like a publicity stunt for like a video or a song or whatever. Like it's just stupid. Like we just saw the man die, and then the even after like the county like the hospital of like the county, I guess it was the hospital, like the medical region, like the medical service whatever of like the county or county that he ended up going to the hospital afterwards. Even after they pronounced that he was dead, people were still saying that he was alive and that he was like, it was like a publicity stunt. It's like just little stupid stuff, like yeah, stuff like that. Internet is social media in general is like real stupid on stuff like that. That's why I like giving myself a break. Like I go like I don't go on social media before 12 in the morning because I feel like I'm more focused when I first wake up. Like I'm less focused. Okay. The first thing a lot of people do when they get up in the morning is they check like their Instagram, their Twitter and stuff like that. And that's like a bad way to start your day because you're starting your day with a whole bunch of that bull crap. Like I would rather I wait until like after 12 before I check everything. Unless I feel like unless I feel like it's something important, like I'm waiting on somebody to reply to something, like if somebody doesn't have my number and all they can do is DM, like I'll go in, check if that person DM'd me back, and then I'll back out. Like I don't even look at my feed on Instagram or nothing like before 12. And I feel like I'm more calm and I can get more stuff done when I don't have social media in the back of my head. Like I can get more stuff done that I actually am in. That's actually here, like actually in front of me, rather than having my eyes on a screen all day and like all morning and trying to balance social media life. Because there is a difference. There is apparently. Like people have made it so like your social media life is different than who you are. And people have, how do I say it? I'm having a lot of like these little brain farts. Like I can't, like I go off to, that's probably because I don't plan nothing and I don't write nothing down. That might be a reason. But yeah, people are now starting to acknowledge that they have a social media life and that they have they have their real life and then they have their social media life. Like people are starting to be sociopaths and actually acknowledge both of those as two different entities, which is like weird to me. Like, I'm gonna tell you what else is weird. Like, yeah, it's kind of like similar. Like how people will have a spam account and then their real Instagram account, and they had the spam account to say what they want to say, but wouldn't want to say on their real account. And then what is the real account? It's just yeah. You see what I mean? Like it's just a whole bunch of stupid stuff. It's a whole bunch of cars going by. Like I don't even know. Y'all probably can't hear that. But it's a whole lot of cars like going by, and it's like really distracting. Like I don't like I'm like recording next to a window. That's probably like part of the problem. I don't know. Y'all don't care about that though. Y'all don't care about none of this and what I'm talking about. I'm basically talking to myself. No one's listening. At least that's how I'm going about it. I don't really care who listens to this, to be honest. If y'all want to listen to it and y'all want to hear like good points of view, y'all want to hear like, well, in there good points of view in my opinion. I just don't like speak eloquently all the time. You probably can tell that already. Sometimes I lose my train of thought. Sometimes I say stuff. I butcher what I'm thinking all the time. I do it all the time. But Bro, who is calling me? Hold on 1 second. Hold on, wait a minute. Matter of fact, I'm finna decline this call on the mic. Hold on. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Who is... Pause that. Nobody trying to hear all that while I'm recording, dude. Are you crazy? But anyway, I'll get back to whoever that... No, I'm not. I'm probably not gonna call back. I'm probably gonna forget doing this. You are... If you know me, you know I forget about a lot of stuff. Not really. I don't really forget about it. I just don't do it. But, what else was I going to talk about? What else is on my little list? I only had 3 things on this list. You see how much I talked about off of those two little current events, like the Bill Cosby and the Black China situation? Like, that interview. I didn't even talk about the interview. I really didn't want to talk about the interview. I just wanted to talk about strippers. That's why I brought it up. I love my strippers. But, anyway, I wanted to talk about Chris Brown. Now, I feel like Chris Brown is one of the greatest artists. Like, he's one of the greatest artists I know of my generation. Like I was born in 1998. So, like, from 1998 to 2018, like, he's definitely, like, one of the most influential. Like, if you look at the people that came after him, like, the ones that's, like, rapping and singing, like, a lot of people, like, credit the rapping with the singing to Drake. But I feel like the people that do it best are the ones that are actually doing like full on R&B. Like a lot of these R&B singers, like, let me give you like an example. Black, Six Lack, or whatever y'all call them. I think his name is Black. I think that's how you pronounce it. Black, Trey Songz can rap. Tory Lanez sometimes can rap. Sometimes Tory Lanez is like weird for me. Tory Lanez is like how do I say it? Tory Lanez sounds like his best songs sound like somebody else. Like his best songs sound like another artist, like a different artist would have rapped it, like or would have said it, or like would have made that song. He doesn't really have an original sound, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But yes, like rappers like Tory Lanez, R&B stars like Tory Lanez. Who else? Bryson Tiller, sorta kinda. Who else? I'm missing somebody. I'm missing a few people. I'm trash. I can't do this. I can't even do it. Let me just stop right there. But like I was saying, like the singers that also rap. What else? The Image. Like the kind of like bad, good guy turned bad image was kind of championed by him, I guess. Rather than just being, bro, can y'all stop with this phone stuff? Like, dang. Over here giving me voicemails and having me miss, bro, come on now. Come on, I'm podcasting right now. Like, can y'all wait? Like, I just cleaned this mess. Can we keep it clean for 10 minutes? Like, that's what I'm on right now. That's what I'm on. But yeah, Chris Brown is one of he's like probably my favorite male singer out right now. He's been that for. Okay, my 2 favorite artists are probably Chris Brown and Future. And like just one of the like his influence, I feel like the what was I saying? Like how the good guy turned bad. Little stigma. Like you saw Justin Bieber did it. Who else? Kind of went down that road. I can't think of nobody else. It ain't really nobody else that's like big and like a generational talent like that's done it. But it's a few smaller artists that have done that, like been on that little kid stuff at first, like being real PC and PG, and then went on to be more explicit, and it showed in like their actual personality. Like they started getting actually in trouble, and they started living it. But yeah, Chris Brown, like, is like, people like to compare him to Michael Jackson, but I would say he's more so like I would compare Chris Brown more to Bobby Brown, if that makes sense. I think he fits that build a little better, even though he wasn't in a group. I think he's closer to like a Bobby Brown type when it comes to like being an R&B singer, but also fitting in hip hop culture. I feel like that's a bad comparison. It might be a good comparison. I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's how I look at it. But are we okay? Even with him, like I be thinking, like, do we even know really that he's on cocaine? I've heard that a bunch of times. Like people have been saying that in the media that like he's on drugs or like he's been on drugs or like stuff like that. And like I don't even know if that's like we even know for sure he's on drugs. I mean, I know his face is a lot slimmer than it was like even like 6 or 7 years ago. His face is a lot slimmer. But I don't know if that necessarily has to do with drugs. But I do know he smokes cigarettes, and that's why his voice got worse over time. Cause like if you listen to like a lot of his earlier like music, he didn't use nearly as much auto-tune as he does now. I mean, I kind of liked like his auto-tune singing. Like I kind of think that's like part of me thinks it's because his voice ain't the same. But the other part of me is I think he wanted to. I think it contributed, and he knew that it would contribute to him having a better style too. It's kind of like how Future said he started using auto-tune because it made his voice sound grittier. I think Chris Brown was kind of going for something like that too when he started putting like auto-tune on his vocals. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Wow, I've been talking for like 40 minutes. This is like really good for me. Yeah, I like that. And I promise every episode is not gonna be this bad. Like I know when I started out really slow. Like I started out like I didn't really have words for anything. Like I was actually kind of nervous to start. Oh, y'all might hear that. I picked up my pen because I dropped it. And I just hit my chin on my mic. But every episode is not gonna like as I get better at this, or as I get more comfortable pressing play, it'll get better over time. Like that intro like had me kind of nervous because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what I should be saying. I should probably like come up with a script for like my intros or whatever. I think that'd be better. But anyway, I ain't really got much else to talk about that I want to talk about right now. I'll probably have like another episode out. I'm not even gonna put a date on it because ain't no telling when I'm gonna have another episode out. Y'all done seen I done left for like a year and some change. But anyway, yeah. Subscribe to the podcast. On whether you're on YouTube, listening to this on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. What else am I on? I think I'm on something Radio Box or something like that. Just make sure you subscribe, like and comment if you're on YouTube. Turn that bell notification on. Like, yeah, y'all be good, and I'll be back on the next one. Holla.